Hello, hi, Amy. Good to see you again. Thanks for dropping by yet for another Kench Niner stream from the land of the Twitch and the YouTubes directly to your wherever phone, home, place of business. I don't know. It's kind of cool. And we got Fort Jables in. It's a busy day. Yesterday was you could have heard a pin drop. But today's like busy. It doesn't matter. I mean, I do the show. It's the same thing every time, pretty much, which I like. And especially the thing I most look forward to is pouring a can of Diet Coke into a glass with a yes. You know what's coming next. The review. It's really good. I mean, get some Diet Coke right now. All right. So we have an LO and a hello on the screen. That's pretty funny, but it's just funny things happen around here. All right, we got to get the intro started. So let's start the intro. First of all, I want to point out the love Lego, the Himalayan salt lamp, the Twitch glitch sign. I'm trying to get better at pointing at things. I don't know. Someday I'll learn. A few hanging guitars. The H was too expensive for you. No, those H's, no, they're very pricey these days. What with fuel costs and transportation costs going up, I mean, who could afford an H? And besides, it's not really much of a consonant. It's not really a vowel. It's not a constant. You know what I mean? What is it? We can get rid of them. I say. That's what I'll run. I'll run for president on the get rid of the H. Well, wait a minute. I don't know. It's not really a okay. Right. So there's gonna be the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller, the Diet Coke. So I get to relax. I've been running around trying to get things together today, but it's Sunday, so I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna stream for a couple hours. I got some plans, not for the flight simulation set. Well, kind of. Okay, we'll be flying around for the first 45 minutes or so. I don't particularly know where we're going to go. And by the way, since there are people here, if you guys have any suggestions of where you'd like to see in the world that I haven't been to, if you guys don't pick a place, I'll probably just spin the globe until something interesting pokes up. Which I also don't mind. I don't know for sure what kind of plane I'm going to fly in. After the flying segment, we take a break. We change into the big brain games. That's me attempting to solve the Quirtle, the revealed, the tightrope trivia quiz, the reunion, the New York Times connections, and an Octurnal. It's actually 6 games in a row. And some of those, as Fort Jables knows, you can help out with. Certainly the connections and other things if you're still here by then. If I haven't bored you to death by then. And then after that, there'll be a short break. And today, if you look at the title, it is Guitar Day. I'll give you a short preview. This is my most recent acquisition. No, I shouldn't be buying new guitars, but let's just say I have reasons, and they're good ones. But this is called a Yamaha Revstar. It is a very, very, very nice looking guitar. And but it's not just nice looking. We'll go over it in detail. I'm going to go over it in detail during the guitar segment. I'm basically going to do a review of this guitar, something different. I'm going to play it, but I'm going to talk about all the features, and I'm going to kind of cut it into a video that I can put on YouTube that I can put a real clickbaity title on. And I'll tell you in advance because this part's not going to be in it. The clickbaity title is going to be "What's wrong with this Yamaha Revstar guitar?" And then I'll go over all the amazing features of it, and there's a lot to like about this guitar, and that'll take a while. And I'll say, oh, well, what's wrong with it? Well, it's the name of this finish that they call this finish right here. They call this for some strange reason. Nobody knows why. I don't know. Sunset Burst. Sunset Burst. So if you want to look at it in the catalog at Guitar Center, you look up Sunset Burst. It's not a burst. This is a fade. A burst would have the dark color, and I'm going to go into this in more detail later. The burst would have a dark color around the outsides and the light color on the inside. But it is a fade. I mean, besides that, they got the name wrong. And as I'll mention before, I have a feeling it's a lost in translation because it's also, but these are desert. That's desert. I wouldn't call this sunset. I would think this is desert colors. Brown and tan is desert colors. Sunset would have some red in it. I don't really see a lot of sunset red, or maybe. And it's not the issue. I don't have is sunset, but it's burst. There's a standard language for these kind of things, that the guitar manufacturers use. And I have a whole bunch of guitars that are bursts. I have a bass over there that's It's a classic sunburst finish, and there's but lots of different bursts, but it's always a dark color or some contrasting color on the outside, and a lighter or contrasting color on the inside. Almost always a lighter color on the inside. It could be a couple different patterns, but those are bursts. But that's a fade. Paul Reed Smith, PRS Guitars, does a lot of fades as well as bursts, but they always call a fade and a burst a burst. I just don't like the terminology is all I'm saying. I'm saying the marketing department screwed up, but the engineering of that guitar is amazing and it sounds great. I just been playing the living crap out of it, but it won't wear out very quickly because it's got stainless steel frets, so I'll talk about that too. There's a lot to talk about when you look at the tiny details of a guitar, but we're not going to get into that segment. That's like an hour away. But anyway, the point is I'm going to try to have enough material that I can, talk about the guitar, have some segments where I'm playing it, and then I talk about the flaw, which is the naming convention, which isn't, obviously doesn't affect it's a problem for me because I'm kind of anal. All right, we got to pick the plane. I really am feeling, I don't know, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling my experimental German flying wing. Because it's a vibe. The Horton HO229. I know I fly a lot, but we're going to keep flying it. I've never had a problem with it. And we got also quite a few interesting liveries. You have Nachtjäger, Red Devil, White Knight. They're all and a bunch of camos. Royal Air Force is really cool because it's bright yellow on the bottom. We should do a silver I've almost never done. Done some of these winter ones. Certainly done the navy one. Have we done this silver one? The silver one, actually, I think we have done. I want to do, I think we've done them all, but let's do Royal Air Force because it's really cool on the bottom. You can kind of see it has that yellow. It looks better from that angle. It's pretty cool looking. All right. Well, if anybody doesn't have any suggestions, I was thinking someplace we haven't been is Austin, Texas. I know a lot of streamers around there who are streaming, and it looks like the weather's pretty nice in the area. There's always Austin, Texas streamers, and it's been improved in the game a couple times, but we haven't really been there. What do we got here? We got a Ranch Airport. We got Bird's Nest. That's actually, what is that? 6,000 feet of bituminous. That's more than enough. Okay, and then Austin is. We're definitely cold starting this bird from the Bird's Nest, right? Okay, good. This looks like a general aviation airport, which is what we're looking for. And we'll fly around Austin, and Texas is really beautiful this time of year, as far as I remember. We did Europe yesterday, or actually, yeah, somewhere here. Did Bucharest? That was really interesting. I want to go up there to where that lake is too. That kind of curvy. You can kind of see it above my head there. It's like a snake-looking lake there. It's like a dragon. That one there. Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfecto. All right. A very interesting and fun little startup experience here. Start the plane. It's got 2 jet engines. Here, we'll look at it so you can see it's a really cool paint job. But to start the engines, you actually have to pull these little rings in the engine. Somebody would be doing it from the outside. You'd be doing. And it's got this cool effect of how do you get in? There's a ladder, and then you walk up the wing on a specific part that's strong enough. There, that you're supposed to walk on there. That little outline dotted area. I love the little details. All right, so it's very primitive because this was an experimental plane. All right, we're gonna toggle our main breaker. Okay, we're not gonna. Okay, we get the throttles open a little bit. We got to turn our fuel valves open, and we're just gonna turn our pumps and alternators on now for the startup procedure. Let's see, everything else is starting up. Well, it should start up in a second. All right, so the procedure is before we turn on the ignition, we're going to, let's see, that's the left, right? It's labeled in German. So, yeah, rechts is definitely the right engine. Anyway, the point is, all right, 1 second here. You're going to go there. Okay, so the right engine, okay, we'll start the left engine first. That's engine number 1. So you pull this little thing there, and that starts the actual electrical starter system. Wait, hold a second. There we go. And now we can see if let me get rid of this. We don't need this. If you look here, very slowly, you're going to see that where it says U min times 1,000. That's the RPM of the engine. That needle's starting to move, meaning the starter is engaged and is starting to spin up the turbine. It takes a little while to get it up to about to that first that first needle there. That's about 20 per 2,000 RPM. No, it's about 1,000. No, it's about 2,500 RPM. Got it. Then we hit the ignition when it starts getting up there. And now you see actual speed going, and you'll see like a puff of smoke comes out of the back of the left engine there, that on the left side there. Eventually, when the engine gets back into its correct operating realm, when it gets up to efficient realm, that smoke disappears because it's operating efficiently. That takes a little while. It's automated at this point, so you can see it's speeding up. It takes a while. You'll see once you'll kind of see that thing. That needle will kind of spin up quickly and then stabilize. That's a typical start. Yeah, see, it's already started to clear up there. And it's time to start the other engine. All right, so we're going to go here. Engine number 2 start. Starting engine number 2. All right, so the same thing. We're looking at the other dial here on the right, to the right of it. We want it to hit 2,500 RPM before we start the ignition. And it's moving slowly. It takes a little while. 22,000 RPM. We're also monitoring temperatures. You see we have temperature centigrade on the left engine. It's about 450, 500 degrees centigrade would be typical. Exhaust gas temperature. All right, we're getting to the 2,500 mark. And when we do, we're going to slap on the ignition. I just like the starter procedure. These planes aren't like, a key start engine. All right, it's about where it needs to be, like 2,300. And you turn on the Rex ignition. Yeah, you can see it's coming out. We're going to see a lot of smoke coming out of there. Again, because it's still speeding up. It's still kind of inefficiently burning the jet fuel. We'll keep it out here. You'll kind of see it clears up, and there's a sound effect. It's pretty well done. Yeah, it kind of slowly. You can kind of slowly see it. Not much sound effect, but it does clear up. All right, now both engines are operating. We have power to the radio systems. Depart straight out. This is Austin.
Executive ground.
I think we're going to go west, I believe, to see this city. But we're just going to fly around. Beautiful day, from what I can tell. And I just always have first of all, it's just a vibe to fly this plane. It's not necessarily the most agile, but it's just fun. I mean, in the real world, I don't think they don't actually fly. So it's kind of a fantasy plane. All right, we want to go to the left here. All right, so power brakes are released. Let's get some power to these engines for the first time here. They need to be running about 60% before they generate much power. You got this big steering wheel up front. It's pretty wild. And the gear is very unusual. It's tricycle landing gear, meaning 2 in the back and 1 in the front. But because of the unusual way, the huge front gear and the way it's set up, it actually lifts up from the back while it's still balanced on the front gear. I like to talk about that every time I fly. It's just a weird fact of this plane that I don't think any other tricycle plane has that effect. Yeah, so good. This is an executive airport. This is about as fast as you want to taxi in this thing. I'm sure it's an inexpensive bird. Alright, so taking off is pretty easy. I do put the flaps down, but that's about it. Okay, where's the runway? Okay, it's kind of down there. It's not that far. Just have to turn and make a left turn. Okay. And it's like 6,000 feet, but it's down all the way down there. So plenty of runway. You don't really need that much, but it's nice to have it. This is not the kind of plane you need to take off on a grass runway. But yeah, it's got the camouflage on top, and then the bright yellow on the bottom, which is exactly not what you'd want to do if you were actually designing a military craft for lack of detection. It'd be light blue on the bottom, and it doesn't matter on the top. You know what I mean? And that's how most military planes are. But it's, and again, it comes in a variety of speculative liveries, you know, and none of the. I think there is one of these. They made 4 of them. One of them is hanging in the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum in Washington D.C. and that's what this model is based on. Okay, oh cool, we can make this turn here. We don't need to make it super long. Okay. Here we are. Ready to do some Texas flying. Again, there will be no mountains. Texas is pretty darn flat, at least this part of Texas. This is what it looks like from in here. It's got pretty decent, but not huge windows, and you're sitting kind of low. So it's not the best sightseeing plane. All right, let's give it a little more. We gotta actually get up here. Because the runway's up there, so this apron's kind of forward. All right, we're almost there. At the runway, at least. But yeah, it gets a lot more interesting once we're actually flying. But I kind of like the run up to it, especially the cold starting procedure. It kind of adds to the realism and the immersion, as they say. Trees looking, we got a lot of power lines. We're gonna be flying real low. All right, here we are at that 8 map. This is where you're going to want to call. Tune the tower and say we're ready to go. Can we have clearance? Clearance. All right, so flaps to the first position is about 10 degrees. They're just normal trailing edge flaps. Although, you know, it's a big wing, so you need it. All right, looks like we're ready for... Okay, so from inside, what I want you to... Yeah, I'm going to stay inside. We're going to use full power. That's full power. Knowledge clearance.
Clear for takeoff runway 13.
What I want you to notice is that the plane leans forward. That's the rear wheels coming up before the front wheel does. But then just after that, the front wheel comes up. So you can see the front wheel's hanging down there below there. By the way, I love that kind of effect there. Okay, gear does come up, and there's those big doors there that seal it up. Nicely done. All right, and it flaps in. And we can kind of reduce takeoff power to cruise power. All right, so I remember that we wanted to head the other direction, right? Like southwest to get to Austin. We're not heading that way. I'm just navigating by landmarks. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to use the GPS or anything. Just the way we do it. Okay, so where's this? All right, we took off. All right, it's right there. It's hard to see. Don't have points of interest, but we can find it. That up ahead, you can kind of see the skyline of Austin. But I kind of want to check out where the water is, which is that way. Maybe we'll check out the lake first, then we'll fly down to Austin. But it is a real flying wing. I mean, there's nothing like it. And that paint job is real dramatic. Even less power. I don't want to go too fast. So there's a major highway, or not a major highway, minor highway. But again, we're kind of on the outskirts of Austin, which you can see in that direction there. But we won't be flying over it. I just want to see where this kind of fairly large lake, I mean, it looks like a reservoir. Okay, this one here. Because there's got to be a dam. It really looks like a dragon, this thing right here. It's not that far. So we'll fly over there, and then we'll head back to Austin. Yes, I am. Approved. I'm glad you approve. I guess that's what you call immersion. There's a lot of people who have those I can't remember what it's called. The AI, that's a cool factory building or something right there. The AI air traffic control system, VATSIM or whatever, which vastly changes how you interact using the radio. And up to and including, you can voice speak to the AI. I haven't tried it. I don't really think I really would. I might enjoy it off stream, but I don't think it's something I could really integrate into the stream. Not sure what that is. We're trying to identify it. Obviously there's office parks. That's got a lot of parking on the sides of it. Sometimes you can identify. Wow. Yeah, Texas is famous for office parks. I'm gonna put it that way. They know their office parks. Okay, are we heading to this reservoir? Oh, it's this way. The reason why it's hard to see is it's not like up in the hills or anything like that. That's another freeway there. It's a decent sized one. It's not like this reservoir is up in the mountains. It's not. It's roughly a same level as everything else. It's just a little bit higher, so they could put a dam there. Okay, we'll check it out. So you won't see it until it's right next to it, but it's a pretty big body of water, so if you don't see it. What's it look? It's about 10 miles out, and we were going fast. So just well, actually, we could be going faster. So anyway, we're well to the north of Austin, but Austin has a giant community of outlying cities. The one thing we'll see a lot of freeways and not a lot of train routes, commuter rail. That's not very American. But I don't necessarily know what all these communities are named. Well, I certainly know what I'm saying. But there's, like any major metropolitan area, there's going to be a lot of outlying communities for people. Yeah, I guess that's Austin there. Do you guys see that? Yeah, that's how far we are. It's a ways. It's another freeway heading to Austin. I've never been to any major city in Texas. I mean, the only thing I've been to is the airport. You still can't see anything, but there's a big reservoir out here. We're almost, it's not, it's a few miles away. It's starting to get a little hillier here. That's an interesting kind of, whatever that is. We're kind of, for Texas, this is pretty hilly terrain. You can definitely see. A lot of people are building, though, on these ridges, putting nice houses, fancier houses that have, nobody in the backyard, pools, more like a California hillside experience in there. And you're only about, you're still like an hour drive from Austin, but that's not, not a big deal. All right, we're almost at this reservoir. This is still very much crisscrossed with little communities that are hidden in the trees. Decent sized one. This is not the middle of nowhere. So I'm guessing, this I don't know. Maybe this supplies a lot of the water to Austin, but they may be able to use well water in Texas, I'm not sure. You can see it's not a dry. Oh, that's a school. LISD. I'm not sure that stands for. But I always like when they put their school name on the stadium. All right, so ahead, we finally see what I'm looking for, which is this fairly large body of water. I mean, it goes down a long way that way, but you can't really see it till you're right on top of it. But I don't know if I've been here before, so I'll check it out. If there's like a water tower there. Right? But I mean, this is definitely fresh water, but this might also be recreational. And then there's some stuff there. There's some people overlook. These people have Lakeview. This is Lakeview Estates over there. But yeah, this is the thing I was looking for, which is the dam, because I wanted to see the darn dam. And it is right here. It looks like it is not, it's been reasonably improved to that it is a realistic dam rather than just that photo dam. Let's just take a look at it. All right, we're at stop time. Everybody get your magical parachutes on, please. Thank you. We're going to exit the plane. All right, let's take a look here. Yeah, that's a nice looking dam. It's got a lot of graffiti. That's not graffiti. But it's got this nice electrical station. We're generating power. There's your turbine room. Here's your electrical station there. And that's the dam. That's a good sized dam. Looks like it's got a spillway over there. I wonder if there's an emergency. No, there's no emergency. It goes all the way down there, though. It's pretty good size. Yeah. Okay. So these are probably the. I don't know what that would be for. If they have an intakes in there. It's pretty cool. Definitely a nice dam. And then you have a road nearby. All right. Where's our plane? All right, dive back into the plane, everybody. We're moving on, with or without you. All right, so if we head down this little thing, which is obviously the downstream from the dam. All right, it's going to kind of meander a bit, but we're going to head straight to Austin at this point, which is that way. It looks like it's away, but it's pretty close. Because we're moving. We're doing 216 knots. Let's see, what are we looking at? I just want to check our gauges. You notice we're kind of at the limit. That's the cruise limit for the engines. Before it goes to the red, and the temperature limit. That's fine. They're just running at full, or basically that cruise. There's no particular reason why we wouldn't be running well. It is a beautiful day. Okay, you can see this river's meandering around, but lots of housing, lots of people living live in Austin. It's a very, it's, you know, people want a lot, you know, it's a growing area. People want to move to Texas. They want to live in a, you know, major city, quote unquote, but it's a lot cheaper to live in these suburbs and a lot nicer. It's a lot quieter than living in the city life. But yeah, none of this is, I mean, all of this is effectively exurbs or suburbs or whatever. But, you know, definitely, you know, it's not jammed in together. I don't know how far you'd have to drive to get to the Safeway, you know, as a community around here, maybe down there. But they go on for a long way. But I would suspect houses that have a view of this little river are going to be the most valuable. You know, and I'm sure some of them do. On this ridge here, like an estate there. That's a pretty nice looking estate right there, a white one. And you'd think there'd be more of those. And then we got some radio towers here. We're gonna fly. Gotta watch out for the guy wires. It's my favorite joke. So we're gonna watch out for the guy wires. It's not gonna actually hurt you again, unfortunately. But you can kind of see them there. In the real world, they're very hard to see unless you kind of know they're gonna be there. But they're holding up the towers. You don't want to hit them. Bunch of those kind of guy wires. They were tall ones too. Oh, there's much more here. All right, Austin, Texas. We're gonna swoop down there and check it out. You don't need this. Obscure view. But again, there's another little dam here. And you see here, it kind of comes and it's all water management. There's boats there, and some sailboats around here. But yeah, there's another dam here. I think there, not huge, but not tiny either. Okay, that's pretty cool. I've never seen these dams before. I mean, in the game. All right, Austin's this way. All right, we're gonna have to dive bomb it. The other thing is, you know, we don't have any weapons, so it's not really, we can't do a lot of damage, unfortunately. Even though it was a military prototype, it's not really clear where you put the weapons. You're like, oh, there's a bomb bay down there. No, that's where the landing gear is, and it's really takes up all the room, basically. There's not a lot of room in the wing to put bombs. So you'd have to suspend, I don't know. I'm not really sure what the military purpose of it was, except to, you know, show engineering dominance over the enemy. All right, so this is the school structure here. There's basically, yeah, all along this river. There's that structure there. This is the waterfront. You know, well, I think that's that'd be a convention center, the low building. The cityscape there, the city. There has to be also, by law, in every Texas town, there has to be some large stadiums. I don't know if Austin has a lot of professional teams, right? But there's definitely okay, there's this one here. We're too high, I have to dive on. I think this is University of Texas, though, or technically one of those. I don't think, yeah, because, I mean, this looks like a school. We'll check in a sec. Or this Texas... Oh no, the Texas Longhorns, yeah, which is a university team, right, isn't it? That's a big stadium, though. So I think that's University of Texas. Yeah, I think that's the famous, there's a famous tower there where some, you know, a sniper, remember sniper shot a whole bunch of students many decades ago. I believe that's the tower. Infamous, all right, I'm saying. Lots of stuff to see. That's one thing that Austin is famous for. There's another school here. What does it say, though? Say something. That's another one. AISD. I'm not sure what that stands for. But yeah, let's get ready to fly through these buildings and not smash too hard. By which I mean a little bit. Ooh, I want to go down that street. We're going to do some urban canyon carving on that road there. That's what I like to call it. I like that kind of curved building there. It's got to be a museum. Or hotel. I bet a lot of these are hotels. All right, where's that street? I got it. I'm gonna have a lot of hours in this particular bird. And I'm really feeling I probably, if this, I'm probably one of the better pilots at this point. This particular one. All right, where is it? Oh my God, it's this one here. I don't know if we're gonna flip through here, but we're gonna find out. A little bit. Little urban canyon carve in there. We'll try this at home. Look at the shadow on the buildings. You can get arrested. Cool stuff down there. I think they have like an elevated train system. And why would you do that in a fancy, expensive plane if you could, kill yourself and a whole bunch of other people? That's why we do it in the game. Or I do, excuse me. I think we've seen like the stadiums. I wonder what's on the other side of the river. I know there's some other stuff. The stadiums, I say, which were... Oh, yeah, this is the state building. I think isn't the seat of the state. And I think this is the state government building there. It looks okay from this distance, at least. So there's your kind of political plaza there. You got a major freeway coming through. I'm glad we flew around a city. Also, the simulation is performing pretty well. It looks okay. Not every day can I say that. Sometimes it gets jerky. We fill up the resources, and it starts becoming a very framey experience at best. And today it has cooperated. Thank goodness. All right, so we flew around. We're going to fly around a little bit more, and we're going to suss out an airport. I think that's the airport over there. You can see a lot of planes. So I don't think I have to suss out too much. We're definitely landing at the big airport. But meanwhile, let's check out, so we were well north of the city. We were way up there. So let's fly a little south of the city and check out some of the southern suburbs. You can start to see, once the buildings get about to here, technically they're in the suburbs. Let's see, there's a school. See school fields and buildings. Could be a high school, it's not really big. Hard to say. I'm sure there's a million colleges. Oh, I love this intersection because I like highly architected intersections like that. It's really wild. And the little cars running on it. All right, these people are going to the airport, I believe. We'll fly over it and see what it looks like. You can see as we get closer to the airport, it becomes a lot more commercial zoned. But yeah, this plane is a real treat, actually. Compared to some, I mean, it just does what you want. And then you get this cool cachet of flying in a wild-looking flying wing. Yeah, this is in fact the Austin's International Airport here. I don't remember exactly what it's called because we don't have place pictures. But it's fine. Ooh, a Diet Coke. I'll have some. Well, yeah, that's some good Diet Coke. Okay. Well, what do we have here? We have a runway. There's SKW 4177 is currently coming in for landing. So they're landing from this direction as pretty much one runway. Decent sized airport there, and we'll be able to check it out from the ground because we'll be landing there shortly. Okay, so I'd like everyone to put your trays up and fastened and your seats in the upright position. Make sure your seat belts are securely fastened. For landing, we'll be landing shortly at Austin, Texas. And thank you for flying Tench 9999999 Airlines. It's true. Our prices are competitive. I don't know what to say about Catch 999 Airlines. Alright, but then we get to the desert. It's interesting. You go east, kind of south and east of Austin, and then whereas the north it was very suburban, you get south and you suddenly get this desert chaparral kind of zone, which are still people but much fewer. I'm not sure what changes. I think it's proximity to that source of water. There's a lot less water down in this area. Okay, we're gonna fly around until we get enough separation, because it does. This plane does not have a great turning radius. I'm not gonna call in for that. I mean, I'm not gonna make the radio. That's the thing. I don't really want to do the radio stuff. It would bore me. I just want to take off and land. Pretend that there's real radio traffic going on. What is this? The KAUS is the call sign of this airport. There's the runway. We're going to start putting some flaps down. That's what it looks like from here. You see the runway there. Some more flaps down. Reduce power to the engines. Pretty soon we're going to pop those landing gear down. Anyway, the other thing is the reverse of when you're taking off is that you land on the, unlike most tricycle gear where you land on the rear two wheels like a jet. Oops, no power. Those flaps. You land on the rear two wheels, like imagine a jet landing, lands on the rear two wheels, and and then the front wheel, somewhat later, hits the ground. It's opposite, that's very typical. Like all tricycle planes are like that, except this one. This one you hit the front wheel first, and then the rear, and then as you slow down, the rear wheels hit the ground. It's just really unusual. But for me to fully, I'm gonna get some gear down. As I was talking, I was like, yeah, we're close here. But yeah, those big gear will start slowing us down pretty quick. So I'm watching our minimum speed. I don't want to stall at the last second. A little more power even. Because yeah, I have stalled at the last second of this plane. And it's not pleasant. Okay. Plus you want to maintain less than 160 and more than 140. You got to keep in a fairly narrow range for landing. But we do have a nice long runway, so I'm not concerned about if we need to land a little late. This is what it looks like from here. There's no plane on this landing thing, but I don't care. Alright, so I'll show you what I mean by it lands on the front wheel. There's the front wheel comes down first. And the rear wheels are still, I have to steer, trying to steer onto the hard left. I don't have to line up here, it's fine. And the rear wheels come down. Once the rear wheels come down, it'll steer a little easier. I guess I should be braking. That wasn't a great landing. It'd be easier to stay on the runway if I was in the cockpit, by the way. That's just tricky to do from that angle. We're back on the runway. It's fine. We didn't damage anything much. Not my best landing, but it was mainly because I was trying to demonstrate that it lands on the front wheel. And then as you just like, and I was like, All right, let's check out this airport. We'll just run around a little bit, see what it looks like. And by the way, now's the point in the game where I usually get resource limited. Memory management. After flying for a while and then hitting an airport, I would say about 80% of the time it starts choking, especially when you get close to the terminal buildings that are all customized and interesting. But no, the plane looks fine. Nothing's damaged. We had a little excursion off the runway. It's fine. Hello. Oops. There we go. All right, let's get some speed here. I'm not going anywhere. There we go. It's just a really cool having those two engines. Yeah, and see when there's probably, man, that's the other thing about real life flying compared to simulator flying. There's a lot of paperwork in real life flying. There's a lot of filing of flight plans. There's a lot of analysis of, where, maintenance records. It's not really, most of it is not the exciting, oh, let's take off and fly around part, unfortunately. But that's why I like the simulation. I've never really want to be a real pilot. The cool thing about it is we can click these things here, one of them, either one, right? Okay, and it will open the canopy, which is kind of cool. All right, so this is the Austin airport. I just kind of want to check it out. It's not running to the refueling pumps here. Don't really see where the passenger terminals are. What? I guess I ran into a pump. We're over. That's fine. I'm over it. Oh, no, but that was fun. Hey, if you enjoyed the flight simulator, as I like to say around, if you enjoyed the flight simulating, I do it every time. So there's always a different excursion. It's a different place. We haven't seen Austin before. I guess my wing smashed into that fuel pump and caused a huge explosion. But it's fine. That is definitely that would definitely be a lot of paperwork if that's what happened right there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure there's insurance companies but again, it's it's a simulation. Exactly. All right. More Diet Coke. Cheers! If you're enjoying some Diet Coke today, along with me, why wouldn't you be? One of those two. All right. But I am moving along with the show. I got hours and hours of streaming to do. But the second part of the show is the big brain games. It can't be that big a brain game. I can't figure it out. All right. It should be. I'm just trying to get them to send me some free Diet Coke. Is that so wrong? It's a couple of pallets of Diet Coke, a year or two supply. But I've been doing this for 2 years, and I haven't heard a peep from them. Not a peep. All right. Let's see. All right, we're quitting out of that. I'm gonna switch over to the big brain game number 1, and that is the Quirtle. I mean, it's just something I kind of do these in order. Points. All right. This is my warm-up game for the big brain games. It's a lot like the Wordle, except there's 4 at a time of these 5-letter words. But I always, for all these 5-letter word games, I use the same set of starting words. Let me see if I can spell it out here. Which have a special properties of blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what this one here, it's got to be peace, P-E-A-C-E. That's because there's no other word that has that upper left. The C has to be A-C-E, right? Yeah, that's a good one. Now we have, this on the upper one, it could be erect, E-R-E-C-T. Oh, yeah, we know there's 2 E's. It has to be erect. Okay, that's another easy one. They're going to get harder. This word is probably S-A something something Y, right? Or, no, because the A has to, yeah. So it could be savvy. They sometimes throw that one at you. Saggy, G-G-Y. Let's try saggy. I bet it's saggy. It wasn't saggy. Well, now we know. Oh, it's assay. Okay, it's the other one. They always get me with that one. All right. Now let's see. Here we got S and the I, and then we know there's an L and a P. Okay, so it's just gonna be spill, right? Could it be spilled or anything else? All right, that's warm-up game number 1. Well, it's not the warm-up game. It's the first of the games. The next game is called The Revealed. Sometimes people can help out with this game. This is a fairly new game. It's like less than a year old, I think, from the fine folks at Britannica Comics. These are just basically free games anybody can grab on the web. That they do a new one every single day. Today's for April 19th, 2026. It's a place to figure it out, and the correct answer is going to have a 2 words, 10-letter word, and an 8-letter word. We know that from the count of little blanks there. Let's read the heavily redacted document and see if we can suss out what this place is. Okay, the place we're looking for, something in somewhere, something blank, honoring blank blank, the first blank of the blank. A something to something was first proposed. That's actually an interesting, that has the right number of letters, right? Maybe Arlington doesn't have quite enough. But we can always see if it's a cemetery. No, I see the country's military blank on blank because of various problems, including blank inertia. It is appropriate for the first choose a plan with a circular blank to complete the 30 blank blank. But let's try it anyway, because, maybe it does. It does sound right. I mean, a good guess, because of the military aspect. See, Arlington doesn't have enough letters. But let's see if it's a cemetery. I don't think it is. But because that does. Hold on. Can I get this here? I don't think it's a cemetery. Yeah, it can't, but it was a good guess. So let's see. The plan was it's not the Pentagon, but it's honoring something. Is it something memorial? MEMORIAL. So the second word could be memorial. But it's not the Vietnam Memorial. Is it? Oh, is it the Washington Monument? Because that has the right number of letters. All right, we did pretty well. I mean, we're thinking alike there. We're thinking alike. Obelisk in Washington, D.C. honoring George Washington. That's why they had to redact out so much of these things. The first president of the United States, a monument to Washington, had to redact those out, was first proposed in 1783. I remember the whole story of this. They built like the first 20% of it, and then it stopped for a long time. All right, that was good. We were able to suss it out with no hints or reveals. Other players needed 4.8 or 1.8 hints. That's, letters. There's a little picture, if you see there, of the old Washington Monument. Puzzle solved 298. I guess I've been doing this for a while. Longest streak 41. Yeah, I guess. Well, we do them on a daily basis. It was the obelisk. Yeah, erect one is kind of, I don't know if that's Twitch terms of service. Might be an issue there. So we'll just pretend you didn't type that. Cheers. Okay, there's more brain games to come. Now the next one that I do these in a specific order. This is the tightrope trivia quiz. It's a 9-question timed trivia quiz. It gets harder from Monday to Sunday, and today's Sunday. That means it's the hardest one. Now, I can't really wait for you guys to help out because it's timed, and the time is the quickest thing. But so this is not but you can, watch or try it yourself. I mean, the good news is it's over quickly because you got to go fast. But as soon as I hit this play button, the timer starts. So I had to get a little Diet Coke. Breathe heavily. All right, let's see how we do today. It's not that it matters. That no other country begins with. It's got to be Vietnam. Oof. It was Oman. Oh, that's a tough one already. I don't think I knew that. There's the bark of an evergreen tree that shares its name. The bark. That's definitely not that. Is it cinnamon? Wow. These are already really too hard for me. But I like it. I don't mind hard trivia quizzes. Congress is Persian obviously marathon 490. It was Alexander. It wasn't. It was Darius. These are already really too hard. I don't know who Darius is. Grey Gardens was the first cousin to which first lady? I think it was Lady Bird Johnson. It was Kennedy. Wow, that was a hard one today. But they whip out the hard ones for the Sunday quiz. I saw that movie, Grey Gardens, too. I know exactly what they're talking about, and I still didn't get that right. Grey Gardens is a great movie. So, yeah, he was great. So you think. Anyway, you know what? They whipped out the hard ones, and good for you. You beat me. You know what I mean? Fine. I'm not gonna. All right. Again, there's 6 games and we're only 3 in. The next one's called the Reunion. These are all great. They're new games every day. Tomorrow I'll be doing the quiz again Monday, and it'll be like easy questions. I'll be like, you probably, I think it'd not be that, it's trivia. Some ones you're going to get, some days you're not going to get, and sometimes your guesses are good guesses. You know what I mean? But I mean, I kind of mad at myself because I didn't get the Grey Gardens one, and I saw Grey Gardens. There's a movie. It's a really good movie. I like the movie a lot. It's you kind of have to see it. It's about these 2 old ladies in this decrepit house, and they don't want to leave, but they also don't really own the house because and blah blah blah, and these their personalities are crazy and stuff like that. And one of them is related to one of the first ladies, but I forgot whether it was Lady Bird Johnson or Jacqueline Kennedy. Anyway, and it was the wrong one. So I knew it, you know what I mean? So I should have had the background to guess it. All right, so this game, it's from the fine folks at Merriam-Webster.com. They give you a new one of these every day. It's kind of like a crossword puzzle, except you don't get clues. You just got to suss out the words based on the letters you have available and the fact that they're, green letters are in their final position. Mo, what are you doing? What are you eating? He's like eating my leather guitar strap. That's not food. That's not food, Mo. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay, if it's yellow, like this S here up there has to stay on the column, and the I has to stay on the column. That's interesting. But other than that, this O could stay on the column of the row. But in the other one, okay, that's interesting that this, it's not going to be dismiss, but I think it's going to be dis something. So I'm going to try putting this I here. Okay, it wasn't dis something. D-E-S-I-S-T. No. All right, I just want to do something. We're gonna have to use some instincts here. Let's see, what could be after this T? It could be a vowel, but could it be an H? It could be an H. But anyway, if you're looking at this thing while I'm looking at it, I'm going to take my time. This game takes a while to do. And you see a word that pops out, like a 5-letter or a 7-letter word. It's not always 5 or 7 letters because there's the hedgehog and the fox. And at some point they will, by the end of the game, they will be reunited next to each other and taking up space, and thus cutting up possibly words or ending words. It's just you have to kind of get into the vibe of it. We also have this vertical word that has an ER and an A in its final positions, but we don't have a lot of information here. I know this I is on the column, and I know it's not there or there. So I kind of think it has to go here. Let's just try it. Yeah. I mean, at least that was kind of an obvious one. So what could this word be? It could be, because what vowel could go there? It could be an E or an I. No, it can't be an I. It could be an E. Can't be an O. See, it can't be an I, and we don't have a lot of vowels. We only have I, O, and E. So I think I'm talking myself into this has to be D-E-S-I something. Could it be an A? See, there's no available A's. There's no available U's. Okay, yeah, all right. I'm going to make for sure it's D-E-S-I something. And it could be desist, and then but then no, or it could be desists with a C, no, because it needs more letters, I-S-T something. So I'm not sure what that word designs. Oh, thank you for yeah, it could have been desire. I agree now that I see designs, because we do have a G. We know the S is there. Yeah, okay. Well, we're giving you this. We're giving you credit for this game. So it's I, G. See, they turn green. You got it right. But we have to get all these to turn green. We have a limited number of moves. We're trying to get it in 17. Okay, this word isn't delta because the L can't be there. And this D certainly is not there. But designs was really helpful because now we know the first letter of this word, G-A, and the first letter of this word, S-O. We don't know much else about it. I'm not sure at this point where the hedgehog and the fox are going to end up. So we got a P and an H. I still think maybe there's an H at the end of this word. But what would it make it? Or it could be ditto, D-I-T-T-O, because we have a T to place and I to place, and this O could go there. Should we guess ditto for the top word? How do you feel about that? It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be ditto. And hopefully this D will stay yellow. It did. Good, because that's a clue, because now we know it's somewhere else. Probably at the end. Or we'll figure it out. But anyway, we have an extra T to make ditto. Could it be anything else? No, it's got to be ditto. Okay, perfect. And then we also still have an H. So the H could go THER something A something. But it could be other things. We're doing okay. Again, we're trying to get this in 17 moves or less. We're probably going to get this in 18, so maybe another 9 moves is going to be needed. But I want to get it right. Gamer, left to right. Okay, thank you. Let me see. Okay, we have an M, and the M could go in the vertical spot, right? And so it's going to be thermal on the top one, yeah. So you'll see gamer, and then we know this is going to be thermal. And at this point, we're done because it's going to be gamer. I mean, all these are going to be obvious, I think. Okay, we know this fox is not going to be there. So that's going to be... Okay, let me think about it. We got to figure out where these are going to go. Let's see. We only have one vowel left. Right? I think they're going to go at the bottom, which... maybe not. Or maybe it's solid at the bottom, right? Because this I, even though it's white, it could go there. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Come by anytime, 5 days a week. But it's good to see you. I think it's going to be solid, right? Because the D can go there. And then this last thing we got to figure out is... I think this is just going to be spec. And then yeah, it's going to be spec. And then the hedgehog and the frog just got united. And prod is also a word. 17 moves. That's a win for the win column. Because that's what I call a par for the course show. Hello, Mr. Mo. It's a kitty cat right there. Want to say something? No? He doesn't want to say anything. But so we celebrate that win with a little sip of Diet Coke. Yeah. He's good. That's my kitty Mo. The next game, oh, you're going on the bad time. The next game is the most fun and most community. It's one that we're all looking forward to. I don't know about you, but I am. I like it. It's the New York Times Connections. Thank you, New York Times, for providing this wacky game, which I actually didn't do for a long time. I kind of recently started doing like 6 months ago, relatively recently, really. And we added it to the Big Brain games. There's a couple other games I'm thinking that are recently out that I might be adding, but I don't want the segment to get too long, you know. All right, so the New York Times Connections, they give you 16 words or short phrases. Looks like words in this case. You got to figure out what the 4 affinity groups are, but you got to watch out because there's misdirection and wordplay at play. By misdirection, there's often a 5th affinity group. That's a fake affinity group. It's not the right one. And then wordplay is like homonyms, antonyms, preceding words, antecedent words, etc. That kind of thing. A whole bunch of things in there could be. But the best thing to do is first we're going to read these words and see what sticks out for us. See what category we think things might be in. Okay, mint, arch, dud, whole, fresh, bust, kid, flop, waste. I can tell you this is a tricky one. Wise, river, sassy, turn, length, cap, and hips. Hips, interesting stuff. Well, nothing really pops out to me. So, but we're gonna look at this for a while. You know, I'm gonna think about this. Okay, mint, for example, mint is a flavor, but it could be things that are green. I don't see anything else that would follow when things are green. Maybe a river is green, but I don't think so. Kid could be a young goat kind of thing, but it could also mean to rib somebody, to joke with them. Sassy. Some of these things like hips and sassy just seem like it's gonna be wordplay. Cap. Let's see. Oh boy, this is gonna be a trick one. Something, and also there's definitely gonna be the precedent words and antecedent words going on here. I like this. This is gonna be a tricky one. We're gonna do a shuffle. Let's see how we think. I think, length, mint, hips, bust. Arch, cap, wise. Something wise has got to be an antecedent or precedent, probably a precedent word, like I don't know. Hole, river, waste. Again, that could be a homonym, like a homonym of waste. Dud, flop, kid, sassy, turn, and fresh. Oh, I like it. It's hard. Turn. Let's see. Wow, none of this is popping out. We're gonna have to do some guessing at some point, I think. Capstone. Something length. I'm sure it's mainly preceding and antecedent words. Bust. Okay, a bust, a dud. Okay, I'm trying to get something here. A flop, and then something else. What would go with dud, flop, and bust? Because I don't think length would. Mint, no. Hips, maybe a hole, but that seems like a stretch. Wise, cap, arch, river, waste. Kid, sassy, turn, or fresh. Let's try hole, but it could be turn. Yeah, it's not even anything. Wow. This is a tough one. Wow. I like it. All right, let's try sassy, wise, arch, and fresh. Just think about it with me. Cheeky. All right, I'm trying to get something done here. At least we got 4 out of the picture, but I'm not optimistic. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Oh, this seems obvious. Waist, hips, bust, and length are measurements of a garment, of a woman's garment, right? Female garment. Seems kind of obvious. Now that you look at it, that one should have been the obvious one. Dress measurements. But hey, we only got one wrong so far. These are going to be the hard ones, as I mentioned before. Let's shuffle these around a bit. Mint, cap, dud, hole, turn, flop, river, and kid. Billy the Kid. I still think flop, dud, but those are not. together, I don't think, because bust is not there. Right. Okay, so dud and flop are definitely not together. Flop house. Turnstile. Trying to figure out what the precedent and antecedent words are here. I'm having a good time though. I have plenty of time. Nowhere to go today. We're still gonna have a long, like hour-long music segment. We'll be talking about guitars and stuff. That's coming up. Check it out. I don't know if it'd be interesting, unless you're really into guitars and like details about electric guitars, like tiny details. Because I'll be going over this guitar in extreme detail. All right, let's see. But wait, we're not done with this. Let's see. I'm gonna shuffle this here. This is not getting easier. Something capstone, riverstone. What else? No. Something obvious. Oh, geez, just popped out to me. In Texas Hold'em, there's the river, the flop, the turn, and the hole. Um, these are terms. Just these are terms in Texas Hold'em. Texas cards in Texas Hold'em. I haven't played a lot of Texas Hold'em, but man, that took a while to see. But yeah, once you see it, river, the turn. All right, so we got this. We have dud, cap, mint, and kid. We only got one. We only wasted one of our guesses, so that's fine. It's not a win, but it's not perfect, but it's good enough. All right, dud, cap, mint, and kid. What would that be? Spearmint? No. Dud, cap, mint. I mean, we don't have to know what it is, but I always like to kind of guess if I can figure out what the hardest. This is the hardest one. What is the affinity group? Because it'll tell us, but I kind of want to guess. If you think you know what the affinity group is for dud, cap, mint, and kid, let me know. It'll be something really, really obvious once you see it. Like, oh, add an S to skid or something, or but dud. It's not a palindrome. Dud, cap. I have no idea. All right, we're going to see what it is. I can't stand here all day. It's going to tell us. Last words of candy brands in the singular. Hold on. Oh, okay. So dud is milk duds. Something mints. Something kids. That is really hard. Candy brands. I don't know what's kids. And then caps is the last word of a candy brand. That this is going to be, I hope this is considered a really hard one for people. Because that seemed like a really hard one. Okay. Hey, actually, there's one more game, and then we're going to move on to the musical segment. But I do like to do this last. Oh, where is it? Hold on. There we go. It's just a little octortal. It's just a little warm down game. Okay, it's the rescue, which is the hardest one. And it's a lot like the other quartal, except now we have 8 words to solve. Okay, this word has to be. Well, it could be Ester. Esther, right? That's a thing. I think it's got to be Esther, this word here. Didn't tell us much, but did give us the T. Okay, which is helpful. Now we have a word that has IFIE. And I don't think it can be anything else but fiend. And the N and the D are available, so we're going to guess it there. Okay, the N is used all over the place, but the D is not. And then we have a word that starts with S, but has an H, but it's not at the beginning. So it could be like swish, SWISH, right? Could it be anything else? Nah, I like it. Oop, could have been something else. All right, well, that wasn't good. But that's okay. We can still win. We just have to get these all correct. All right, let's see. We still have an A and a U that we haven't used. This one up here could just be floor, Floor. But it could also be flower, Flour. Let's wait on that one. This word here, it could be spank or spunk or slunk. Oof. This one's got to be easier because we have an M and a G place. This could be gamer, right? I hope it's gamer. Good, because we needed the A. Oh, we eliminated the A. That's fine. All right, I want to take another. We can figure this one out, I'm sure, now. So it's ends in I, so it's sushi. We got at least time, at least. And that'll give us the U, which we needed. Definitely needed that U all over the place. Nice. Okay, so it's something U and then probably OR. Blank U, blank OR. What could that be? Juror? No. Yeah, it could be juror. What else could be? I like juror. We're going to guess juror. Wait a minute. Or, right? Because it needs the O there. Or it has to start with O. I like it. Okay. I'm good at this game. It takes some practice to be, especially, this is the hardest variation. Okay, so now, so now we know it's going to be O-U-R, because we know it has a U in it. So it's flour, F-L-O-U-R, the baking substance, which is good because we needed that L over here. And now that word is going to be slunk. It's spelled out for us. Good thing we waited, or I waited. All right, we have one guess, and this is going to be the hard one. Let's just take a look here. All right, so we have all of the letters needed, and the I is in the right place, but we know there's a T, N, F, and U. Okay, so it could be unfit, right? Yeah, the N could go there, the F could go there. We know the I is there. I'm 90% sure it's unfit. All right, so that's a win. That's the final of the Big Brain Games. Oh my God, until tomorrow. They give a whole nother set of these Big Brain Games every single darn day, which we got to solve. I got to solve. I have a natural puzzle solving mind. That's why I'm a software engineer, or like I think most good software engineers just really enjoy solving puzzles. You know, it's just, you get that little boost of adrenaline when you get that you win sign there in the middle. Because I only win about 50, 60% of those, maybe 60%. It's a very hard variation. You don't get a lot of extra guesses there. And sushi is always a hard word for me because there always could be other things. But you know, generally I think I figured had a good sequence there. And there's boy, they do like 5 or 6 of these quartals and octurtles every day, and I'll probably solve the rest of them later in the day. But anyway, I'm going to go into the music category because as always, the last half of my stream is a musical performance or a talk in this case. And I'll see you on the other side of the mid-roll. Alrighty there. Let me get my camera just to know I like it. That probably. There we go. All right, you can hear me, you can see me. I'm in the musical section of the Twitch. All right, welcome to the guitar part of the show, or the musical part of the show. Today is the Revstar guitar. I recently purchased this guitar for myself from the company that we might have probably never heard of. It's called Emporium Center, Guitar Center. They have a few of them, a few stores spread across the world, like maybe 600. And so I went to my local one, which is a couple miles away, and I traded in a guitar. Look, I didn't actually buy, at least I didn't buy a guitar. I traded in a guitar. I traded in my Epiphone SG Modern, which I never bought it with. It was a lovely guitar. I bought it at Guitar Center, so they were very nice to give me, a reasonable amount of money I paid for it, reasonable fraction. And I used that money and I turned it around, and they also give you a 10% discount on a new guitar if you trade in a guitar. This was a new guitar that I could purchase from their, from them. They had to ship it to me. It's called the Yamaha Revstar. I'll get this thing here. Let me take this off. You can see the Yamaha. The Yamaha is an amazing company in terms of their musical history, as well as all sorts of stuff they produce, including marine and boat engines and all sorts of stuff. They're what you call a Japanese kaibatsu, whatever, conglomerate. But they certainly have a history as over 100 years of producing musical instruments. Anyway, so this guitar, the Revstar, is a relatively recent design. Came out in 2014. That's pretty recent compared to things like a Stratocaster. Most guitar designs are from the late 50s or 60s, effectively, or maybe 70s at the most. And they haven't changed that much since then. But there's been some improvements. But this one they were like, we'll start with kind of a clean sheet of paper. Take people who really play the guitar, really know guitars, and engineer a really nicely designed and nicely made guitar that's just designed for what they call for expressive players. Anyway, so I'm kind of rehearsing for the TED Talk. All right, so I'm going to go over the features of this guitar and what I love about it. I mean, basically everything I love about it. That does the engineering and the ergonomics is amazing on this guitar. And by engineering and ergonomics, I mean, does it feel right? And does it balance correctly? Is it about the right weight? You can't really see a lot of the engineering that went inside, but it's chambered on the inside, and there's a fairly big cutout of wood here to keep it light. It's a kind of a heavy wood, but there's a lot of cut. You can't really see what's going on there. What else does it have? It's got a beautiful neck with these actual real mother of pearl inlays. You can't really tell. That's not pearloid. They're mother of pearl. Kind of rare. You usually get pearloid, which is acrylic, or abalone, which is a real substance on guitars. But mother of pearl is fairly rare, especially on a not particularly high-end guitar. And then let's see. Okay, some other features I like about it. You can kind of tell. See how the back is real glossy, but you can see that the neck isn't. The neck is a totally different finish. than the back. This is, I've never seen this before. It's a really cool feature. The back being glossy means it's very well protected from, scratches and belt rash. It'll last a long time. But most guitar players don't prefer a glossy neck. I don't mind it, but I do prefer a satin or a kind of a like a Fender, a bolt-on style neck. And this is a beautiful satin feeling neck. And the neck is very, very carefully designed. There's these carbon fiber rods that is for strength. And it's not just a regular old guitar neck. There's, like, every little part of the guitar has been kind of rethought, at least that needed to be. The nut and the tuning stability is really, really good. This is all classic hardware down here, in that there's a stop bar tailpiece, two pneumatic things, and two humbuckers, which is the way I like it. But then it's a deceptively simple controls arrangement. You got two knobs, volume and tone, and a switch. But unlike the simplest form, which is where you got a volume and tone and the three-way switch, this is volume, tone with a focus or boost feature that's on the push-pull, and a five-way tone switch, five-way positional switch, so that switches between this one and this one. And the middle three positions are the different combinations of phase switching or not phase switching that both pickups at the same time. Very unusual. I've never heard of that before. Works really well in practice. I wasn't sure it would. So this is without the focus. So this is this pickup only. This is the first phase switch position, which is what I like. This is the mid position, which is both pickups in phase. Other in phase, alternate in phase position. Right. And this is the neck only. It's much darker. But the interesting thing about the tone, you can hear it there, the brightest tone, or the lightest, whatever you want to call it, the warmest, or the coolest tones at this side, and then they get darker and warmer as you go up this 5-position switch. So if you want the brightest, you're down there. Kind of here, it's almost like a tone, but it's not quite a smooth tone shift. It's kind of a complicated tone shift, but generally lightest to darkest colors there. So I have the second to the lightest here. That is definitely wrong. Hold on a second here. We gotta fix this. There we go. Perfect. So all in all, what a great bargain this guitar is. Hers are very, very well made. They make two versions of this Revstar. There's the RSS20 and the RSP20, standard and professional, the RS and the P. The only difference that I could determine is that the RSP is made in Japan and costs about $2,600. And this one, and it comes with a hard case. This is the RSS, the standard version, made in Indonesia, It costs $840 before like my trade-in. So I ended up paying about $500. But from what I can tell, the specs are identical, except for the case. There's no differences, except one says made in Japan, the other says made in Indonesia. Obviously, professional guitarists are going to have the made in Japan one. But this is there's no way I tell the difference. I'm sure they're identical. Indonesia makes the most amazing guitars in the world, and the most amazing guitar values, including the most amazing high-end guitars. So what do I not like about this guitar? I mentioned this at the beginning. I'm kind of anal about how the name. I mean, first of all, I love this finish. It's so gorgeous, and in person, it just is amazing. But they're calling this on the website. If you go to the website, you want to order one of these, you're going to look up Revstar RSS 20 in, I believe they call it Sunset Burst. Sunset Burst is what they call this finish. Burst, it's not a burst. A burst would have the dark on the outside or the rim and light colors on the inside. This is clearly a fade. It is not a burst. And to me, this is not sunset colors. These are desert colors. So if they just would go and rename this guitar finish from Sunset Burst to Desert Fade, I'd be 100% satisfied. Believe it or not, it bothers me. So in my mind, I've renamed this at least Desert Fade. And I always make it clear if I'm going to tell somebody what color this is, I'm going to tell them it's Desert Fade. I don't care that the marketing material is wrong. And what I think happened is that it originally, this is the finish was created by Japanese, people at the Yamaha company, and they probably named it something Japanese, and it didn't translate very well. So somebody said whatever, and that person named it Sunset Burst. It doesn't affect the guitar at all. It's just me psychologically. All right. What do I want to do? I want to try to sing a song, but we're going to see how it goes. So anyway, I saw, the reason why I bought this guitar is because I saw Joe Walsh playing this model. He had the professional one at the Sphere when we saw the Eagles at the Sphere. He's on the Eagles, right? And he had this for the first 3 songs. He played a bunch of different guitars, but he played this one in this color finish. And I was like, I got to get one of those. This is so gorgeous. It's another tequila sunrise, spreading slowly across the sky. Days gone by. He was just a hired hand, working on the dreams he planned to try. Days gone by. Every night when the sun goes down, just another lonely boy in town, and she's out running round. She wasn't just another woman, and I couldn't keep from coming on. It's been so long. Take another shot of courage. Wonder why the right words never come. You just get numb. It's another tequila sunrise. This old world still looks the same. Another frame. Anyway, they did that song. A bunch of all the other Eagle songs you don't hear. It was a real peak life experience, I gotta say. All right, what do I want to do here? Where's my stuff? Where's my shows? I want to. We're gonna sing along with some karaoke. It's just a thing I'm doing right here. I just need to get it set up here. Hold on, let's get this set up here. While we're doing this, where's my stuff? What do I want to play first here? I guess we'll do this one. I've been enjoying this one a lot here. Hold on, I gotta get this ready here. I hate that it auto starts everything. All right, it's this great Crowded House song. I love it. Pushing me aside, see it stretch on forever. And I know that I'm right. The first time in my life. That's why I tell you, you better be home soon. Stripping back the coats of lies and deception. Back to the nothingness, like a weed in the desert. And I know that I'm right. The first time in my life. That's why I tell you, better be home soon. Don't say no, don't say nothing's wrong. When you get back home, maybe I'll be gone. It would cause me pain if we were to end it, but I could start again. You can depend on it. Know that I ride the first time in my life. That's why I tell you, better be home soon. That's why I tell you, better be home soon. Love that song. You never tell me it's not one of the best songs ever. All right, what do I have here? I got on deck here. All right, so we did Tequila Sunrise. Now we're gonna do Squeeze. All right, let's just keep going too. It's another song they did live, and it sounds just like it. I like the way your sparkling earrings lay against your skin so brown. And I wanna sleep with you in the desert tonight, with a billion stars all around. 'Cause I got a peaceful piece of feeling. I know you won't let me down. can take you anyway. You don't already know how to go. And I got a peaceful, easy feeling. And I know you won't let me down, 'cause I'm already standing on the ground. I get this feeling I may know you as a lover and a friend, but this voice keeps whispering in my other ear, tells me I may never see you again. So I get a peaceful, easy feeling. Now I know you won't let me down, 'cause I'm already standing. I'm already standing. Yes, I'm already standing on the ground. I like the vocals on that one. What else do we got for something that we might be able to do? No. Yeah, I'm practicing this one. Plus, this is a brand new version. Okay, let me get the opening right down. Here it goes. I know. Don't we all love the Eagles? All right, let's see if we can do this one with the accompaniment. make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do, to let me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say. This way. What a wicked thing to do, to make me dream of you. No, I don't wanna fall in love with you. I will make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you. I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. Oh, I don't want to fall in love. No one. All right, I can do a couple more karaoke songs. Sure, why not? This is a really fun one to do. In the misty morning, following our hearts of loving, and you, brown-eyed girl, you, my brown-eyed girl. Whatever happens to Tuesday and so slow, going down in the old mine with a transistor radio, standing in the summer night, the rainbows walk, living Tina. Still working on that one, I think. Okay, what do we got here? If we don't do Driver 8, I'll be sued, literally sued by the band. Walls are built up, stone by stone. Fields are divided one by one. And the train conductor says, take a break, driver 8. Driver 8, take a break. We've been on this shift too long. And the train conductor says, take a break, driver 8. Driver 8, take a break. We can't reach our destination. We're still a ways away. Saw a treehouse on the outskirts of the farm. Power lines have the loaders or the airplanes won't get snagged. Bells are ringing through the town again. Children look up, oh, they hear our sky. Little bells ringing. And the train conductor says, take a break, driver 8. Driver 8, take a break. We can't reach our destination. Still ways away. Still ways away. Way to shield the hated heat. Way to put myself to sleep. Way to shield the hated heat. Way to put myself, my children to sleep. Might end this song in a plane like that one. She is selling faith on the Gold Town Crusade. Locomotive 8, Southern Crescent, hear the bells ring again. This field to eat is looking thin. And the train conductor says, take a break, driver 8. Driver 8, take a break. We've been on this shift too long. And the train conductor says, take a break, driver 8. Driver 8, take a break. We can't reach our destination. Still ways away. Still ways away. One more song, and then I gotta, we'll do Kiss Me. I gotta check my tune first, though. Sorry about that. This is a Capo 3. Actually, I'm gonna check my tune real quick here and play it a bit. It stays in tune quite well, I would say. Not as good as a double locking Floyd Brothers. Just want to double check it. Okay, Capo 3 for this lovely song by Sixpence None the Richer, a band which is not really around anymore. Now they're called, that's a long story. Long, kind of sad story. Starts like that. Beside green grass, kiss me. Milky twilight, lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moons sparkling, so kiss me. Kiss me down by the broken treehouse, swing me upon its hanging tire. Rain, bring your flower hat. We'll take the trail marked on your father's land. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling, kiss me. Kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling, so kiss me. Kiss me. Never gonna stop me from doing that. I love that song. All right, what else we got here? Something to close up the musical segment. We're at 2 hours, but I want to do one more. Ooh, what could we do? There's so many good ones. I've been enjoying these ones a lot. You know, I haven't done this one in a while though. So we're gonna do this. REM songs are basically REM, Green Day. Those are my favorite bands, basically. All right, no cable for this one. The one I love goes like. Ergonomics right. Okay, here we go. Goes like that. All right. So I'll be singing along to it. Oh, it's a different song. I was thinking different song. That was what I love. Okay, this one's better, different song. We'll practice it. Different song. I know it. The other one was Losing My Religion, which I do all the time, so I really want to do this one instead. Okay, let's go. This one goes out to the one I want to try to do one more, just because I'm trying to burn my voice out. Amy's not here anymore, but this one we dedicate to Amy. She was chatty or whatever. Try to make you think, let you see one thing for yourself. Now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. See, I thought that I might keep you for my own. Baby, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Don't think the time was right for us to fight. I don't think the dawn was proper, could be right in time. Can't you see which way we took turn together all alone? I cannot ever see what's right or what is wrong. Don't take too long to see, Amy, what you wanna do. I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Up, sure we both will see. Of course, won't you look at me and tell me, Amy, what you want to do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer, if I longer, if I did forget. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Falling in and out of love, you. Falling in and out of love, you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep falling in and out of love. Well, that's gonna have to do it for today. But big shockaroonie if you're still here. Tomorrow, another stream day, 5 days a week. Can you believe it? It will not be guitar stream. It'll be flying around. Hold on a second here. First of all, only needed for singing is the reverb. All right, get out of this. No, we're not doing any more of these. Thank you, though. Hello. There we go. All right, perfect for the outro. I had such a great time streaming today. You won't believe what I'm about to say. First of all, there's plenty of Diet Coke left. That's what I'm about to say. I had such a great time streaming today. I'm going to hold the whole thing again tomorrow. I'm going to do the same one. The whole darn thing again tomorrow. I'll be flying around Microsoft Flight Simulator. The big brain games, same games, but different puzzles. You see what I'm saying? Different, different. Same but different. Followed by the break, followed by a musical segment, which tomorrow is going to be, let's see, we did piano, I think, yesterday. So we're going to be doing bass or piano, just not guitar. I don't know. I do 3 different things. It's either probably going to be Rocksmith bass, but I don't know. You'll find out. It'll be fun. Right, that'll be tomorrow. Same time, same bat channel, same bat time, same whatever. Holy smithereens, Batman. 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, but I don't know what time zone you're in. You could be 23 other time zones. I don't know what time it's. Sorry, Pacific, okay. But whatever time I start today, I start at the same time every time. All right, I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Bye, everybody. See you next time.